655 Sports. This is The Locker Room.
Hey, welcome back, boys and girls. Well, week one of the high school football season is officially in the books. Lot to digest, lot to break down. And to do that, we turn to Northeast Indiana's foremost authority on prep pigskin. It's our buddy Justin Kenny, formerly of the News Sentinel, now with Optimum Performance Sports and OutsideTheHuddle.net. Justin joins us live via Skype from his home in Huntington. First off, Justin, thoughts on that Columbia City game tonight?
What's up, fellas? It was a phenomenal evening out at Columbia City, opening the new stadium there in the new campus of Columbia City High School. Limited fans in attendance, so still able to get that Friday night atmosphere that we didn't otherwise have throughout Allen County, particularly the SAC. But Columbia City was very impressive. Greg Bolt, TJ Bedwell, they hook up 3 times for touchdowns. TJ Bedwell also throws for a touchdown to Hunter Herron. You look at Cherubusco, who hadn't been shut out in 5 years. Last time that happened was against Lewis Cass. It's a very young team. I think it's going to take a while for Coach Paul Sade. He has a couple really good talents, and Hunter Bayansky, a junior, and Nick Nondorf, a sophomore. So very un-Cherubusco-like to lose in the fashion they did tonight, but it's going to be a growing year, I think, for the Eagles. Cherubusco, that is. Meanwhile, Columbia City, can they compete with East Noble and Leo? I think we'll find out here in about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and Justin, I'm curious, as you look at the NE8, I mean, in my mind, it's got to be the most balanced conference in the area. I mean, with obviously what DeKalb did last year, East Noble, we know what they are. New Haven seems to be trending upward. Leo is always a solid program. Norwell continues to rise. And then Columbia City, I mean, when you look at the NE8 as a whole, who strikes you as potentially a favorite? Do you like one team over another, or are you looking at it as pretty evenly matched as I am?
Well, until East Noble goes down, somebody knocks off East Noble, I think you have to put them atop the conference. You know, very impressive performance out of them to shut out a very good Plymouth team tonight. But I think the primary competitor with East Noble could be Leo. I mean, at times last year, they had 8 sophomores on the field on defense. It's a growing team, and they still, you know, only lost 2 games last year, both to East Noble. So I think that gap closes this year between Leo and East Noble, but don't sleep on New Haven. Don't sleep on Columbia City. I think DeKalb may take a step back with what they lost, and Angola comes out with an impressive win tonight. But I think you guys are right in terms of top to bottom. In terms of competition, you look at Huntington North that battled Warsaw tonight in a 42-35 game. I think Coach Prescott has that program going in the right direction. And then you kind of look at a Norwell team that some people are thinking could be this year's DeKalb. So in terms of week in and week out, I see the Northeast 8 maybe being the most exciting of our local conferences.
Yeah, and I know, Justin, you obviously spent your night out in Columbia City, but I know you were well tuned into what happened here in the Summit City. Obviously, Snyder goes down big to Northside. Homestead goes down to Northrop for the first time ever. Is there a little bit of a changing of the guard in the SAC this year, do you think?
It's tough not to make snap judgments and things after week 1, particularly since we've been so starved for football. But I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit, fellas. Snyder's obviously, if you watched any of that game, and I know you guys got some good stuff from that game, you just saw a Snyder team, particularly defenses, that looked completely lost. And that just goes back not to coaching, but just having so many guys on the field that are new. And that's not to take anything away from Northside, because this is a Northside team that got shut out a year ago by Snyder in week 1. So for Northside to go out there and get this win is humongous. But I think next week will be more telling for North when they host Bishop DeWanger. And then with Northrop, you look at a Homestead team that was missing quite a bit of their defensive unit tonight, should be back next week. So Demarius Cohen just tore that defense up. And I look at that middle level of the Homestead defense that was missing a lot of talent as maybe being the factor tonight based on what Cohen did. So I'm still putting DeWanger 1. And I think you move Carroll up to 2 at this point. I'm not yet ready to say Northside and Northrop are SAC contenders, but Northside in particular can definitely make that statement next week against the Saints.
All right, last one before we get you out of here. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Assuming we are able to play a full season this year, Justin Kinney, come Thanksgiving weekend, how many teams from Northeast Indiana will be playing at Lucas Oil Stadium, and who are they?
All right, fellas, let's pray that we're talking football around Thanksgiving, at least high school football, right? I'm going 2 teams. We're going to go Dwenger, and we're going to go South Adams. How about that?
I like it.
I like it, man.
I mean, honestly, that's kind of what I was thinking as well.
Concordia, 3A, Justin. I like their chances from what I saw tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great point, Peter. Concordia, and talking to Coach Luke Amstutz last week from East Noble, that's the team that Concordia scrimmaged last weekend, and he could not sing the praises of Concordia more, particularly that defensive unit. He said that team could be, by the end of the year, as good, if not better, than the 2016 team that won the championship. So I think they still have some work to do on the offensive end, but Drew hit the ground running tonight, and they have athletes at all 3 levels of that defense. So definitely, if we're hoping for maybe 3 teams at Lucas Oil, let's throw the Cadets in there.